Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. This is Amanda, and we are continuing Werewolf, the Apocalypse, Heart of the Forest. Celine is here to help. Right here. Alright, let's not delay any further and get going. Sorry if I itch my nose, I have allergies. Alright, we are starting Chapter 3, Standoff. Need to talk. I thought about going back to sleep, but I couldn't. Since I'd arrived in this village, I felt like I was falling down a rabbit hole, or rather a wolf's den. My dreams were getting more and more vivid, and I was scared. I needed to talk it over with someone I trusted. Well, I like Anya. Anya's been our friend from the get-go, and I've liked her, so let's talk to Anya. I'd come here with Anya, and despite all the strange things I'd done, she's still stuck with me. I messaged her, and she messaged me back. I'm on a walk. Come join me. The sun had just set, and the moon wasn't up yet. The forest loomed on the horizon. The activist camp was somewhere there. We met near the shop in Baia Luisha. It was a characteristic enough point, and easy to get to from anywhere in town. What is it? Anya asked. She looked worried. Something strange was happening to me, something strange was happening here. Well, it's happening to us, isn't it, if we're getting the weird dreams? I know it sounds crazy, but I think something strange is happening to me. I'm scared, Anya. There's something strange happening, she nodded, but I have no idea what it is. I know even less than you. She frowned. Maybe we should go to your new friends, the activists? She smiled a little. They are weird. She must know something. Well, let's go with our zero aggression option. She had the best ideas. I smiled. That's why I came to you. You have the best ideas. She smiled and started walking. I'm sure they're not sleeping. Do you mind if I text Bartek? I promised I'd meet him tonight. I didn't mind, and he soon joined us. We went to the activist camp. The camp had a different vibe than the logging site protest. There were more people there. We looked around, trying to take it all in. The people in the camp seemed quite cheerful. Smells were intriguing. I watched them for a moment. Someone was singing. Well, let's see who's singing. I like singing. Let's do that. I heard 3 or 4 girls singing together in a unique Eastern European style called the White Voice. It was the most melodic, throaty growling I'd ever heard. I listened for a moment. I stopped and just got lost in the music for a long while. People were milling about, setting up camp, cooking, preparing posters. Everyone was busy. I have no idea what your plan is, said Bartek, but you have my full support. Cornell or Olga? Well, Olga doesn't seem to like us, but Cornell does. Let's lean into that a little bit. Hello, as I approached, Cornell smiled at me. Hello, he said. What brings you here? Well, I mean, the zero rage options seem to be pretty good and friendly, so let's go with that one. Oh, and it made Cornell loyal to us. That's good. I'm confused, I answered. Is it really true? I mean, all the stories I've heard connecting me to the forest? Cornell looked at me with those uncanny gray eyes. I could feel his attention lock on me. Yes, it's true, he said. And that's why we're here, to stop the government destroying the forest, to show that we don't agree and that we hope to make a difference. And you have your role to play. But how will it work? Will it work? I asked. I don't know. All I know is that it worked before. It worked for Gandhi. It worked with segregation and apartheid in the end. It worked with communism. So let's see if it works with capitalism as well. Violence is not an option here. He smiled. And I think you know quite well that anger doesn't really get shit done. That's not true, necessarily. I think sometimes anger does get things done. It has a time and a place, so I'm gonna say I didn't agree. Okay, and he's back to friendly, that's fine. I suddenly felt uneasy. I've heard that phrase so many times, I said slowly. And you know what? I've seen anger getting shit done so many times, so maybe it's my turn to use it now. I'll see you around, I guess. It's time to talk to Olga. Okay. I turned around and walked toward the far corner of the camp where Olga was. Olga spotted me right away. Well, hello again, she greeted me. I didn't expect to see you here so soon. Actually, she gave me a long, hard look. I didn't expect to see you again at all. I'm gonna try to rise above it. It made me even angrier. For a moment, I wanted to bite her head off or bark some curse words at her. Oh, we're getting the rage buildup. Maybe that wasn't a good one. Take a long breath. It didn't help. And to my surprise, she started to laugh. Her face softened. What brings you here, kid? She asked after a beat. Well, we're confused. Let's go with confused. I'm confused, I answered. Is it really true? I mean, Cornell told me strange stories about my past in the forest. There's nothing to be confused about, she shook her head. It's perfectly clear that the government will destroy the unique forest if someone doesn't stop them, and you have your obligation to fulfill. She broke off and bit her lip. What do you want to do about it? I wanted to smash things. Oh, I don't like where this is going, but I guess that's my choice for giving her more rage, isn't it? I want to do something, I said. Anything. I want to feel like I'm doing something that has a meaning, that will change what happens. I feel like I could smash those harvesters with a hammer if I can speak. Do you have a hammer? If the forest wanted something from me, I couldn't be just an observer anymore. She looked at me. Her eyes were a weird color, like deep, dark honey or molasses. I might, she said, but I need your support because Cornell will try to push his own agenda. They all wanted to do something that night, but after a whole day's discussion, they were still divided on what to do. 3 for one option, 3 for the other. I had the deciding vote. I'm gonna go with Cornell's. I've got my rage up. That'll give me something, but yeah, I like Cornell's approach a bit better, so I'm going with him. There we go, now he's loyal to us again. Oh, and we got a trophy, isn't that nice? Once it gets out of the way, I shall read it. Little help from my friends. I voted for the peaceful protest, and soon we were on our way to the National Park Headquarters and Education Center. We had some banners to install. Bartek hesitated for a long time, but he joined us in the end. I'm only coming because my dad is out tonight and he won't see me coming in late, he mumbled. Anya also tagged along and I asked Anya to go home. Well, let's bring Anya with us. She's been a good friend, and plus, you know, Bartek is coming along too, so they'll have each other at least. This is so exciting, Anya whispered. I've never done anything so illegal. Soon we were there. Okay. Progressed our goal. As we were on our way, I realized that we followed the path only because of my vote. I made a difference. The National Park headquarters were located in something called Palace Park. The name was historical. The name, like everything in Poland, was historical. Centuries ago, some king had his hunting lodge there, but now it was a mishmash of old and new buildings scattered around the park. Some were rough and bulky, made of stone and brick, while others were an extravaganza of wooden porches, lace-like shutters, and meticulously sculpted pillars. There was no one around, but the area was well lit. Well, let's look around. I looked around once more. The moon was hidden behind the clouds, and I didn't see any stars in the sky. If you didn't count us, the park seemed really empty. Dead, even. Suddenly, I remembered the church located just next to the Palace Park gate. I could feel its dark silhouette looming in the darkness, waiting. I suddenly started having second thoughts. Well, no! Commit! Commit! We are ready! They'd spent the whole day painting the sign on a length of material sewn together from what looked like old sheets that were various shades of grayish-white. The dark green letters declared, "Wood is the enemy of the forest." "Where do we hang it?" I asked Daniel, who'd come equipped with climbing gear. He clearly needed inspiration. I shared my recommendations. We could cover the church. I'm not gonna, I don't know, saying clearly he needs inspiration, I think that puts it on him. Let's, we're the ones leading the charge, so to say. Let's say this is our recommendation. I think we should attach it to the drain pipes there and there. I pointed at 2 corners of the building, and Daniel grunted in agreement. It doesn't matter, Olga said, because hanging the banner is a waste of time. She was clearly upset that we ditched her plan, but perhaps she had a point. Challenge her, let her talk, ask for advice. Let's ask her for advice, because I think at least she'll feel like she's being heard. Into something that's a bit more, rather than just letting her talk, just let her channel that into something productive, I mean. So, what could we do better the next time? I asked her for advice. We could vote for a plan that has a chance to actually help the forest, Olga rolled her eyes. It's a great banner, and I'm sure it will look good on the pictures published by a number of independent political blogs. She looked at Cornell. But it's stuck so deep into the overeducated ecological dispute that people won't get it, and the loggers won't care. Cornell just shook his head and gestured Daniel to continue. Okay, good, our analytical came up. Soon the sign was up, screaming our message to all of Bielavisha. Cornell looked at me. Maya, what do you think? Well, we put all this work into it. Let's commit. Let's commit and just continue pushing forward. So let's say it's glorious. I didn't really get that slogan, but I decided to play it cool. Oh, I sighed. It's glorious. I'm glad you think so, he grinned. I loved the wording. Humans let the forest grow so they can take wood from it. But that isn't the purpose of the forest. Finally, we pulled the banner up. My father will have a stroke when he sees this, Bartek let out a repressed laugh. It's an important message. Anya looked up with fire in her eyes. The world must know. I looked at the sign, flying high over the park. I was proud of our work. When we finished, Cornell gathered us together. I was proud of what we'd accomplished, and I contributed to that. We helped the forest, even if it was only a little. Cornell reached for his bicycle. Let's go for a trip, he said, to remind ourselves what we're trying to protect. Pusha is loyal. The woods were full of stars. We cycled in silence, enjoying the company of the forest, and as it enjoyed ours. After some time, the place of power opened up before us. The boulders looked relaxed. A soft breeze rustled in the trees, welcoming us. Well, let's get our rage a little lower because I think she's... I like the responses she has when the rage is a little bit lower better, so let's say Anya chuckled. This is exciting! Anya chuckled and I relaxed. The energy was still there. I knew it, but it couldn't reach me. Not if I didn't allow it to. I was ready to act, so I were there. I wondered if anyone else felt it as well. Well, let's ask Cornell, because obviously he feels something. Why are we here? Why are we here? I asked, looking at Cornell. He turned to me, but before he could answer, a loud sound tore through the silence. It was a gunshot. A gunshot. Anya gasped, looking around, wide-eyed and terrified. The others tensed up, but they didn't look concerned, just confused. We have to get out of here immediately! Bartek's whisper was frantic and scared. There's a hunting party out here. Cornell turned toward us like he'd finally put something together. There was a rustle, and I saw a bunch of men in camo, each of them with a rifle, coming toward us between the trees. Well, let's observe them. I might need my rage at this point. I watched their angry steps and listened to the murmured curses. Something was strangely familiar. The man at the front looked exactly like an older version of Bartek. He weighed us up for a moment, then focused on Cornell. This area is closed for the night, the huntsman said in Polish. There was contempt in his voice. There's a hunt going on, and y'all are trespassing. We have the police officers here, so I would go home if I were you, unless you want to get arrested. I felt the forest tense up. The man was the one who was trespassing. He tried to de-escalate and turned to the forest for advice, backed off. You know what? Pusha likes us. Let's turn to the forest. I don't know. I kind of want to de-escalate, but I get the feeling that it might not go well just because of how poorly I handled the reporters. But Pusha likes us, so let's turn to the forest for advice. This man, I realized, was no one. He wasn't important here. What was important was the forest and what it needed, and it cared about me and didn't want me to get hurt. There would be other knights and other people to fight. But right then, I felt that it wanted me to leave. I ran, the air in my lungs boiling, my skin slick with sweat, and the darkness thick around me. Anya and Bartek were running just behind me. Or so I hoped. We left the shouts and gunshots long behind us, but we couldn't stop. Something was chasing us. Two silhouettes, one lean, the other bulky. I saw them in the corner of my eye as they leaped forward. At first I thought they were people, but as they leaped they got longer, smaller. I couldn't see clearly. It was dark, sweat was blinding me, and they were hiding behind the trees. I heard howling and growling. Then I saw there were wolves chasing us. Hide, run faster, or face them. Let's face them. The forest likes us, so I feel a bit better about doing that. Let's face them. I stopped in the middle of the path and turned to face the animals. I couldn't explain why, but I knew it was the right thing to do. "What are you doing?" whispered Anya, terrified. Bartek grabbed her wrist and pulled her off the path. I looked at the wolves. They looked at me. To be fair, they won. I felt strangely connected to them. And I just started talking. I guess let's talk? Oh, my cutting went up. I do like that. You're looking for me? I asked, hoping that my nonchalance would confuse them. The wolves dispersed, then something happened. Something I couldn't see clearly, and 2 people stepped out of the bushes. I knew both of them. Well, Cornell's more of our friend, so let's say Cornell. Wait. She has the right to know. Okay, good, because Cornell's loyal to us. Cornell grabbed Olga's arm. One of us is going to bite you, she said matter-of-factly. And then you will die, Cornell added. One way or another. The forest needs it. Why? Why? There was a series of wet cracks like skin breaking, torn from within by muscles that suddenly grew, by bones rapidly getting longer, by fur and teeth and claws. When I dared to look, I saw 2 8-feet-tall monsters standing in front of me on the narrow path of the forest. I knew it. Fuck. I gulped. Well, yeah, we knew it. They're both werewolves. Everything finally clicked. I fucking knew it. And then there was only pain. Just enjoy that sound effect right there. The pain was unbearable. Nothing in my life had prepared me for this. I was dying. I started laughing. Well, I don't think I would laugh in this situation, so I knew I was dying. Blinded by the blood in my eyes, my shoulder and chest burning around the wound. I knew I was dying, lost in the woods, away from my family, such as it was. I could only watch as my life pumped out of my body into a crimson river. I said my goodbyes. I felt the shadows gathering around me, sympathetic, curious, hungry. The forest caught my fall with a bed of moss and twigs. I stopped thrashing, and a cold numbness engulfed me. Well, let's not get up. Let's not give up. Let's get up! I punched the earth, trying to get some feeling in my hands. I gritted my teeth and tried to get up. I collapsed again. I felt so cold. Suddenly there was light. I looked up. The full moon. Your willpower has dropped to 0. When you lose all your health or willpower, you become impaired. This will make physical tasks, if you have 0 health, or social and mental tasks, if you have 0 willpower, harder and sometimes impossible. The moon was a goddess, and she noticed me. Get up, she said. I get up. I feel good. I know that I shouldn't, but I don't remember why. I don't care. My mind is clear. I kind of want my willpower back. My mind is clearer than it's ever been before. I see the world in sharp contrasts of black and white, movement and stillness. I smell prey. I hear language in the hooting of the owls, the whistling of the wind, and the snarling of wolves. I am one with the forest. I stretch. My muscles are sore and cramped, so I stretch like I've never stretched before. My arms are longer. My legs are stronger. My heart is pumping, and I feel like I've spent my whole life packed into a box, and I've finally been set free. I breathe. Ooh, look at that rage! I take a breath and feel my ribs and muscles move. The forest smells of blood and fear and excitement. I'm happy. Oh, now my physical form changed. Krinos. I laugh happily, and others' laughter joins me. We laugh and sing to the moon. Something stings me. I look around. There's a smell. There's a small malformed creature pointing a stick at me. Ooh, one of the hunters! The stick blazes with fire and there's another sting. The creature's no threat to me, but its presence is annoying. Its smell almost sends me reeling, and I don't like being pricked. I rip its head off, I stick my hand in it, I push it away. Let's push it away because I know it might be Bartek's father and that would be awful if we killed him. I push the creature away and it flies through the air making funny noises. Then it hits a tree and stays there, pinned to a branch like a butterfly. Okay, so we killed him regardless. At least I assume it's Bartek's father. My ears prick and I hear more creatures running blindly through the bushes. I feel better. My leg no longer stings. I feel better than before. Is this a dream? Maybe it's a dream, I think. I don't actually believe that it's a dream, but I don't want her to kill people. I think as I move silently through the undergrowth. The creatures are running away, their backs turned to me. I watch them and learn how they move. Suddenly, one of them turns my way. We lock glances. I'm gonna roar. Be scary, but not violent. I roar, and the creature falls down and curls into a ball. It smells of ammonia. Piercing light burns my eyes. The creatures surround me. They seem to work like a pack. They're dangerous. Well, I strike them one by one. I run away. I do want to get my rage down. That's the... I'm gonna get my rage down, so I'll strike them one by one. Or no! I don't want to kill them, so I'll run away. And plus, it's low, so it's fine. I'm too smart for such an ambush. I claw my way through the nearest creature and disappear among the trees. Their frustrated shouts make me laugh. A new smell. The wind brings a new smell. The air tastes of fur and musk and blood. Shapes move among the trees, but they are no creatures. They are people, like me. Suddenly, I'm surrounded by them. I think I know them. They seem familiar. It's like I met them in the past, but they were hidden. They close in on me. What do I do? I wait. I relax and wait for them, unflinching. They approach me and sniff the air. Their smells are overwhelmingly familiar. One of the people has sounds attached to them, but now I realize the sounds were not their true names. Run with us, they say. Run. I howl with joy, run away. Well, we're not humans, so let's run with them. And we hunt together and there is joy. There are no words to describe the thrill of being part of a pack and closing in on your prey and tearing it apart. Then I get lost chasing something only because it's escaping. I'm alone in the heart of the forest. I look up and I see no moon, only clouds and tangled branches. Something changes. Something changed and I realized how tired I was. I stumbled. Darkness. I do like the sound effects for when she transforms. The night sky was full of stars. I opened my eyes. Confused, I opened my eyes. The forest around me was thick and dark. The tree trunks, wrapped tightly in dark-leaved ivy, were covered in ripples of lichen where the vines hadn't taken hold. The thorny, leafless brushes at their base were overrun with nettles. The fungi radiated with a ghoulish, sickly green light. Dark, sponge-like mushrooms clung to the fallen leaves. I tried to breathe. I was cold. Something was wrong. Well, let's try to breathe. I took a deep breath and winced. There was a foul smell in the air. Suddenly, I realized it wasn't the forest that smelled so foul. It was me. I looked down and saw my hands covered in a dark substance. I was naked. A sticky, glistening film of liquid was clinging to my skin. I could feel it on my face, in my hair. Blood. There was a whisper. The word resonated in my head. Gauru. I knew what was coming. I remembered my dream and slowly lifted my eyes. There was a severed head right in front of me. I wish I had more willpower, but that's okay. Well, let's try it. Oh, I can't pick it, so I have to go. I felt sick. The face was contorted, the eyes bulging, the mouth open, the tongue stuck over. It was obscene. I doubled over, retching. I recognized that face. It was one of the hunters, the one that tried to stop me. The head watched me with reproach. I screamed, I cried, I crumpled. I would cry. I felt tears running down my cheeks, and I let the sadness in. The bushes rustled, and a moment later I saw Cornell coming out from between the trees. He looked at me, at the head, and my face. He came closer and squatted beside me. This is what we were trying to tell you, his gray eyes smiled. See? You're a werewolf. I looked at him. I blinked. Everything faded to black. Is he naked too? I guess it doesn't matter, does it? I did like that sequence, though. I thought it was harrowing. Okay. That was a surprisingly shorter chapter than before, but I don't mind it at all. But yeah, I like this game so far. I do think I prefer Shadows of New York and Coders of New York because the characters are driving more of the action and it's not just all in your head, but I do like how much control we have over this story. But what do you guys think? Do you prefer Vampire the Masquerade or Werewolf the Apocalypse so far? Leave us a comment down below. Hit that like button if you like this video. Ring that bell if you want to see more videos from us, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And for now, I'm Amanda, and we will see you guys next time. Bye!